guys, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we have my Olympic Games Readathon TBR. So this is a readathon that was created by Issue Time. I will leave all the information and announcement video linked down below. It is a readathon based on Percy Jackson, and it's all having to do with the Camp Half-Blood houses, like, of the Greek gods. So, like, in Percy Jackson, each demigod half-blood camper is a son or daughter of a specific Greek god, and they live in that cabin. So for this readathon, which is taking place in the entire month of June, you have to basically pick which team/cabin that you are participating for. They did include a quiz from the Rick Riordan website that you could actually take to find out who your parent was. You could either choose to do this readathon based on your godly parent, or you could choose to do it based on the prompts that each cabin/god had. That is what I did. My godparent, according to the Rick Riordan website, was Poseidon. However, one of the prompts for the Poseidon cabin was to read a book set on the sea or on the coast, and I have done that in like the past 2 readathons, and I am tired of it, so I did not do that one. The one I actually picked for this readathon was Aphrodite. That's not something that I ever really thought I would have chosen for myself. However, I just really wanted to do the prompts that Aphrodite had, so that's what I have here. Each cabin and, you know, godly parent, I don't think I should keep saying that over and over because I've said it so many times now. Let me just, I guess, cabin? We're gonna go with cabin. Each cabin has 5 mandatory challenges that you are trying to do throughout the month of June to get points for your team. So the first challenge that we have here is Aphrodite is often invested in the love lives of mortals. Read a romance to curb her curiosity. Hello, this is Chelsea from, I guess, the present. I actually filmed this TBR video like 2.5, almost 3 weeks ago, and since then I have changed what I wanted to read for my first book. I was originally going to read 29 Dates by Melissa De La Cruz. However, I am now going to be picking up A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole. This is an adult contemporary romance about Naledi Smith, who doesn't have time for fairy tales, and she keeps getting emails claiming that she's betrothed to an African prince, and she's like, yeah, that's not true, because who actually believes that? But apparently it is true, and we'll see what happens. I'm very, very excited for this one, and I just wanted to let you guys know that you'll be seeing a different book in the background of this video. I've already changed my mind before I even technically start picking up this TBR, and I just needed to let you guys know. The next prompt is to read a book with a cover that you think is beautiful. For that one, I'm going with For Goodness Sake, Volume 1 by Kaylin Smith. This is a graphic novel, the first volume in a graphic novel series that I helped fund on Kickstarter because I just absolutely love the art of this artist, Kaylin Smith. She has done other graphic novel stuff before. She's also illustrated graphic novel stuff before, all like indie published, but she writes and illustrates this one, and I just really, like I said, love her art style, and the cover to this is her art. So I'm just ready for it. I also love this sort of like background pattern-y stuff. And this one, all I know is what it says on the back, and it says, sometimes it takes becoming a demon to learn to be human. That and a hippie in a school bus. That is literally all we have on the back. I'm ready for it. This should be something very quick to get through. The third book is to read a book with a strong, independent female main character. And for this one, I'm picking up Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. This is all about Mia. I don't actually know much else. It's an adult fantasy series that I've heard lots of good things about. I own the entire trilogy now, And I do know that our main character is a very strong, independent main character. That's all I need to know to fit this prompt, so that's what we have. Prompt 4, Aphrodite speaks fondly of her daughter Juliet and her short-lived romance with Romeo. Read a classic novel in remembrance of them. This was slightly hard for me because I don't particularly like classics. I'm very picky with them. But I did find one. We have The Hound of the Baskervilles by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is a Sherlock Holmes book. I actually own all of the Sherlock Holmes covers with the Sherlock pictures on them. I think there was like 5 or 6 total, and apparently I've never finished reading them. I completely forgot that I hadn't, and this is the next one that I need to read. I think I actually have a bookmark on page 38 in here, which means I did start reading it years ago. Like, I've had this on my shelf for at least a few years. But yeah, it's a classic series that I have been reading and enjoying well enough, so I wanted to have them, and I just never finished the series, so this will be my classic. And then the 5th prompt says, as his lover, Aphrodite spends a lot of time with Ares. Complete a prompt that honors him. So what I did have to do was go into the Ares cabin, godly parent area, and pick one of his prompts to read for this one. And so I did pick the one that says, Ares is quick to jump into battle without analyzing the situation. Read a book that you don't know much about. And for that one, I picked Now Entering Addamsville by Francesca Zappia. I read Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia last year or the year before, semi-recently, I should say. Absolutely loved it. And so when this one was announced, and I think it did come out last year, I bought it. Like, insta-buy. Don't actually know what this is about. I'm not going to look into it so that it still fits this prompt. All it does say on the front is time to face your demons, and on the back it says, what if they're real? So I'm assuming some sort of fantasy or like fabulism type of thing. I don't know, because I didn't look into it. I liked Eliza and Her Monsters, which was a contemporary story by her. But yeah, we're going with this one because I literally did not look up what it's about at all before I bought it. Now, those are the 5 mandatory challenges for my cabin. Then you can actually read sort of like bonus books. They're called advanced challenges, and there were 3 that were listed on the Aphrodite page. And so the first one for that is archery, which is to read a book shorter than 200 pages. And for that one, I have a graphic novel called Die, Volume 2, Split the Party. This is by Kieran Gillen. I am planning on reading the first one in a different readathon that is happening also in June. And so I figured if I like that one as much as I think I'm going to, I'm definitely going to want to read the second one. So this is our first advanced challenge book, in case I get to here, which is shorter than 200 pages. Then we also could do canoeing, which is for a book with a blue cover. And for that one, we have Honor Bound, which is the second book in the Honors trilogy, I think. I mean, it says Honor Bound. But this is by Rachel Kane and Anne Aguirre. The first book of this series is also a book that I'm planning on reading in a different readathon happening in June as well. So again, I'm really looking forward to the first book. Think I'm gonna enjoy it. And I have the second one, so lots of blue on the cover. We're gonna use this one. And then the last advanced challenge that was listed on Aphrodite's page was Pegasus writing a book published within the last 5 years. Now, I have a lot of books on my shelves published within the last 5 years, so I have a lot of things to choose from. And for that one, I'm going with Godsgrave by J. Kristoff. As you guys saw earlier, Nevernight is on my TBR, and I am assuming I'm going to like it as much as basically everybody else that I follow that has liked it. And so I also have this entire trilogy, so I figured this would be a good one to do. This one did come out within the last 5 years. It is copyrighted as 2017, so 3 years ago. Definitely fits the prompt. I am assuming I'm going to want to read this basically right after Nevernight. However, for our Olympic Games readathon, you do have to finish the first 5 mandatory prompts before you're technically allowed to read and count the advanced challenges. So I do have to read those first 5 prompt books before I can read Godsgrave or Honorbound or Split the Party. So those are my extras in case I get there. Now, one thing I have not mentioned yet, besides the fact that this is a readathon happening throughout the entirety of June, and I did semi-mention that I'm doing another readathon in June that is also taking place throughout the entirety of June. By the time you have seen this video, you will have hopefully watched my other video, which is the TBR for the Make Your Myth Taker readathon. Now, I am doing that readathon for the first half of June, which is going to be days like 1 through 15. And then I am doing this readathon through the second half of June, which is days 16 through 30. That is the easiest way for me to figure out how to do this because there are mandatory challenges for that readathon as well, and I was really unable to mash up my TBRs the way I wanted to. So I am aiming sort of high this month and doing 16 books technically on my TBRs, 8 for that one, 8 for this one. We will see exactly what I get to, but that's my goal. So I'm going to be technically starting this Olympic Games readathon a little bit late, but it is still going to happen in June, and I'm definitely looking forward to these books, so I can't wait. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more videos, because I do have videos up Mondays and Thursdays, so I will see you then. Bye!